Good morning, officers. Today I am going to discuss about verification of EPF and ESI challans. This topic is going to be very useful for all the offices which deal with outsourced contracts. The EPF and ESI challans submitted by the contractors along with the monthly bills are not that easy to understand. If you look at any particular bill, let's say you can see this is ESI challan, and we could not able to understand what is meant by this IP contribution. Similarly, we have ECR. We don't understand what is meant by this EE, what is meant by this EPS, what is meant by this ER. Similarly, here you can see there are so many terms which we don't aware of, like account 1, account 2, account 10, account 21, account 22. Since most of us don't aware of this terminology, contractors take undue advantage of this thing. Now let us try to understand what is the meaning of each and every term and how to verify these channels. So further, let us clear our basics. Some of you might aware, if monthly salary of a worker, salary means here only basic and VDA, is more than 15,000, then all your EPF calculation should be done on 15,000. That means if the monthly salary of a worker is 20,000, then also you should make your EPF calculation only on 15,000. Suppose if the monthly salary of a worker is less than 15,000, then EPF calculation should be done on actual amount. Let's say if the monthly salary of a worker is 10,000, then your EPF calculation should be made on 10,000. And there are two components here. One is employer's contribution, another one is employees contribution. Employees means workers. Some of you might aware, every month 12% of 15,000. Here you can see I have considered 15,000 everywhere. The main reason is nowadays even the monthly salary of unskilled workers nowadays is generally more than 15,000. Of course, it depends on number of working days. I am actually considering the worker is working in all the days in a month. So that is the reason why I have considered 15,000. Yeah, you can see here nowadays 12% of 15,000 should be deducted from the monthly salary of each and every worker. Then equal or matching contribution should be contributed by contractor. Actually, this work is supposed to be done by the government. Why? Because we are the principal employers. But on behalf of employer, on behalf of government, contractor basically contribute 12% of 15,000. That means this 12% of 15,000 and this 12% of 15,000, altogether 24% of 15,000 is going to be deposited in the EPF account of each and every worker. And while submitting this, while depositing this EPF, the contractor need to deposit 0.5% of 15,000 as EDLA charges and 0.5% of 15,000 as admin charges. So altogether, contractor should contribute 13% of 15,000 on each worker on monthly contribution of EPF. And some of you may not aware, this PF again consists of two parts, that is EPS, which is nothing but 8.33% of 15,000, and there is another component that is EPS EPF, that is 3.67% of 15,000. If you add these two, it is going to be coming as 12%. Okay, in all our estimates and tenders, we only concentrate on this part. We don't bother about this one. Why? Because this is being deducted from the salary of workers. Of course, I am going to explain little more while we are going to discuss about challans. Now let us talk about ESI. This is insurance scheme, workers insurance scheme. So here again there are two components. One is employer's contribution. This is basically 3.25% of basic and VDA. And another one is employees, that is workers contribution, that is 0.75% of basic and VDA. Here there are no restriction. Even if the monthly salary is 20,000, your calculation should be made on 20,000. Even if the monthly salary is 10,000, your calculation should be made on 10,000. Here there are no restrictions on monthly salary. So altogether 3.25 plus 4.75. This 0.75 is nothing but each month contractor deducts 0.75% of basic and VDA from the worker's salary. Then 3.25% of basic plus VDA. He is going to contribute on behalf of employer, that means government. That means 3.25 plus 0.75. So monthly he is going to contribute 4% of basic and VDA towards ESA of each and every worker. So this is being made from the direction of the workers. So when it comes to billing, we don't bother about this part. And when it comes to billing, we only focus on this part. Why? Because contractor on behalf of government contributed 3.25% of basic and VDA towards ESA of each and every worker. So contractor is going to claim this amount. Even on the previous side also, contractor is going to claim this amount, not this amount. Now, how to verify EPF challans? This is the one such challan. This is ECR, electronic challan cum return. And there are so many terms which are not known to us. Let us go to the detailed bifurcation. You can see here GRAS, EPF, EPS and EDLI. And you can see here they have taken 15,000 everywhere, which means that monthly salary of these workers is more than 15,000, and they have considered 15,000 for EPF and EPS and EDLI. Now anyway, this is just wages, and this is the actual contribution remitted. You can see the term here EE. EE is nothing but contribution of workers. Every worker contribute 12% of 15,000. That is going to come as 1,800. This much amount is going to be this much amount is going to be deducted from the monthly salary of each and every worker, and this is going to be deposited in their EPF account. And there are two components here. One is EPS, another one is ER. So here EPS means I have written clearly here. This is nothing but 8.33% of 15,000. And there is another thing, that is EPS, EPF. This is also called as ER, which is nothing but 3.67 of 15,000. That means if you add these two, it is going to be 12,000. So this is the contribution of workers, and if you add these two, it is going to be equal to this one. Why? Because this is 8.33 and this is 3.67. Altogether it is going to be 12%. So this is the contribution of workers, and sum of these two is nothing but matching contribution, which is being made by contractor. Okay, that means monthly 1,800 plus 1,800, monthly 3,600 is going to be deposited in the EPF account of each and every worker. Then when it comes to claim, how much money contractor can claim here? He can claim this amount. Why? Because he is depositing on behalf of government, and this amount. Here admin charges and EDL charges are not there. I am going to show where those charges are going to be included. So this is the final receipt. You can see there are so many terms here. You can see account 1. This is basically, here I have clearly marked each and every term. First one is employer share. You can see 7,200. This 7,200 is nothing but sum of this. That means contribution of each and every worker. This is nothing but monthly deduction from their salary. So you can see that this is 7,200. This is contribution of worker, which is nothing but at the rate of 12% of 15,000. And you can see there are two more terms, 2202 and 4998. If you go back to this one, if you add all this, this is nothing but EPS contribution, which is nothing but 8.33% of 15,000. If you add all those things, it is going to be around 5,000, but he has deposited 2 rupees less. If you add, I think this is just due to rounding off error. It is going to be exactly 1249 point something, 49.5 something you are going to get. So due to rounding off error, it is taking as 1250. The exact amount is 1249.5. And you can see here he is actually depositing 4998. Okay, and this is ER. ER is nothing but this one. This is nothing but EPF. We are going to call this as EPS EPF to be precise, which is nothing but 3.67% of 15,000. So always you should remember that sum of this and this should be equal to this. So this amount, and this amount will go to the EPF account of workers. And you can see here there are 4 workers, you can see, and as I mentioned, admin charges is 0.5% of 15,000. 0.5% of 15,000 means 75 rupees. There are 4 workers, so 475 is nothing but 300. Similarly, EDLA charges 4 persons. Contribution of charges for each person is 75. So 4 into 75, 300. So the total amount should be claimed by the contractor is equals to how much here? You cannot claim this amount. Why? Because this is nothing but just contribution of workers. You can only claim this amount and this amount. So altogether 7,200. Then you can claim this amount and you can claim this amount. And before that, whether we need to verify whether contractor has actually deposited this amount or not. You can see here, this is a summary by account wise. Admin charges 300, employer share this much, and this is this much, 7,200. Total is 15,000. That means contractor should deposit 15,000 in the EPF. That means you need to produce a receipt which states that he has deposited 15,000 rupees. Though we don't bother about this amount, still we need to verify. Okay, so you can see the payment receipt here. This is just for example, you can see the total amount of 15,000. This is the payment confirmation receipt. He has actually deposited 15,000. Though he is depositing 15,000, he cannot claim 15,000. Why? Because out of 15,000, 7,200 is the contribution of workers. This point we should keep in mind. So this is one such receipt to verify EPF. Then coming to ESI, you can see the ESI here. The actual ESI receipt is going to be like this. I'm going to show here. You can see there are 42 pages. Generally, contractor may not deposit ESI contribution for 1 or 2 workers or for 10 or 15 people. For all the workers which are working under their organization, they deposit at through a single challan. You can see there are so many employees here, and we need to identify who are our employees, and we need to check whether he has actually deducted proper amount and whether he has actually deposited proper amount or not. Let's say our employees will be there somewhere. I need to search our employees. Yeah, she is our employee. You can see her salary is 19,864 and IP contribution. If you calculate IP contribution, means this is nothing but contribution made by each worker towards ESI, which is nothing but 0.75% of basic NVDA. So the monthly basic NVDA is 19,864 and 0.7% of that is this thing. And she is another worker. These 2 are our workers. Another 2 workers will be there. I mean, I don't have time to go through each and every worker. So the contribution depended by the IP contribution of another employee is also same. Is also same. That is also right. And you can go back to the first slide. You can see here. IP contribution means the contribution of each and every worker. That is 0.75% of basic NVDA. And this is employer contribution, which is nothing but 3.25% of basic NVDA. And the total sum should going to be 2,65,419. Okay, that means contractor is going to contribute this much amount from his pocket, and this amount is going to take from the salary of the workers, and altogether he is going to deposit this much of money. Now we need to verify. Of course, this is, we can even cross check. This is 49,992, which is nothing but 0.75% of basic NVDA, by dividing this by 0.75, we are going to get total monthly basic and VDA, and apply 3.25% to that, we are going to get employer contribution, and this is total contribution. There are so many workers which are not actually working in our office, so we don't have to verify each and everything. Then I need to check whether this much amount has been deposited or not. For that, let us go back. So this is the first slide. You can see the amount, you can see the slide here. This is the receipt, actual payment receipt. He has actually deposited 2,65,490. That means he has made proper payments and he has made proper contribution. Then at the end of the day, we need to check these 2 points. How much amount should be received by each worker? So suppose if a person is semi-skilled, skilled person, and as per the current rates, basic and VDA is 764 rupees per day, and we are assuming that he is working 26 days in a month, then monthly salary is going to be this much. Then he is not going to receive the entire amount. From this, 12% of 15,000 is going to be deducted towards EPF. That means this is going to be subtracted, and 0.75% is going to be deducted towards ESI. That means this is going to be deducted, and professional tax, as you know, except NCR and national territory regions, in all the states, professional tax should be deducted from the salaries of each and every employee, not only employee, even for our regular government servants also. So you need to submit the proof of this one. Sometimes what will happen, you may deduct the 200 and you don't submit the proof of deposition of professional tax. Then what will happen, this 200 is going to the pockets of contractor. And sometimes what will happen, he will deduct 3.25% of salary as ESI from the worker salary, and he is going to contribute 3.25%. Sorry, this is actually 3.25. There is an error here. 3.25% here, and this is 0.75. So he is going to contribute 3.25% from the government. So what he do? He deduct 3.25% from the worker salary, but while actually filing the challan, he only deposit 0.75%. Why? Because system don't take more than 0.75% of salary. That means he is actually deducting 646 rupees from their salary, but he is contributing only this much. That means the difference amount is going to be to the pockets of contractor. Okay, though this part is not at all concerned to our billing department. Why? Because we just focused on only this part. Still we need to verify this also. As a principal employer, we need to verify. Even professional tax, he is deducting professional tax means, yeah, we need to ask them, show me the proof of deposition of professional tax. And for these two, he anyway has to show the proof along with these two. Okay, so net amount claimed by each, net amount to be received by each worker should be verified. And when it comes to billing, this is the amount claimed by contractor for each worker. And you can see here, number of days 26. Again, this is the total monthly salary. This is actually giving to the worker, so he is claiming from the department. And you can see EPF 13% of 15,000. So he is actually spending 1950. From the worker salary is going to take 1800, and from here he is going to take 1800 plus 1800, 3600 he is going to deposit on the EPF account of worker, but he is actually spending 1950. That means 1800 towards matching contribution and another 150, that is 75 for admin charges and EDLA charges. So he is spending this much amount on each worker. That is why he is claiming this amount from the government. Similarly, this is not 0.75, again I am repeating, this is 3.25%. He is contributing 646 rupees towards ES of each and every worker. That's why he is claiming this amount from us. So the total amount should be claimed by the contractor is nothing but this plus this plus this. Total is this thing. Of course, I have not considered bonus here. If you want to add bonus, you can add bonus here. Bonus is 8.33% of monthly salary that you can add here. That is very simple thing. So this is how we need to verify the net amount claimed by the total amount claimed by each and every by contractor for each and every worker. Okay, so with that my presentation is finished, and thank you for patience listening.